Most people don't lose because they're lazy. They lose because they're exhausted. In modern life, you're taught to grind harder, sleep less, stay busy, and prove your worth through burnout. But working more has never guaranteed winning. It only guarantees collapse. The Stoics saw this clearly. Marcus Aurelius warned that energy wasted on the wrong things drains the soul. Power comes from focus, restraint, and rhythm, not endless force. This video is not about hustle culture. It's about outlasting it. It's about learning how to outwork everyone by staying calm while they panic, consistent while they spike and crash, disciplined while they chase motivation. If you've ever worked hard yet felt strangely behind, this is why. You don't need more effort. You need cleaner effort. Today, you'll learn how Stoic discipline turns work into a long game. One you can sustain for decades without burning out. Stay with me. By the end, you'll know how to work less emotionally and deliberately. Part 1. Stop confusing effort with progress. Working harder feels productive, but it often hides a dangerous truth that most people never slow down long enough to question. Busyness creates the comforting illusion that you are moving forward, yet exhaustion quietly builds while real progress remains distant. Many people do not fall behind because they lack discipline or intelligence. They fall behind because their effort is scattered, fragmented across too many directions that were never chosen with intention. From the moment they wake up, they begin reacting instead of deciding. Messages, deadlines, expectations, and noise pull them outward, and by the middle of the day, their energy is already depleted. They feel tired, pressured, and strangely unsatisfied, even though they have been working non-stop. Stoicism confronts this illusion without softness. It does not praise effort for effort's sake. It asks a harsher question. Is this effort necessary, or is it merely habitual? The Stoics understood that energy is finite and attention is sacred. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet constantly reminded himself not to be distracted by trivial matters. He did not measure his days by how full they were, but by whether his actions were aligned with purpose, reason, and virtue. He knew that fatigue often comes not from weakness, but from misdirection. A mind pulled in too many meaningless directions will always feel heavy. When effort lacks clarity, it becomes a silent drain. You may appear productive from the outside, but internally you feel restless and fragmented. Every task competes for emotional energy, keeping your nervous system in a constant state of alert. You jump from one obligation to another without closure, without depth, without satisfaction. Over time, this creates a background tension that never fully shuts off. You're always on, always reachable, always proving usefulness, yet rarely fulfilled. This is how capable people burn out quietly, confused about why their hard work feels empty. The problem is not commitment. The problem is misalignment. When you work without knowing what truly matters, your effort turns against you. Stoicism teaches that effort must be guided, not worshipped. Instead of asking how much you can get done today, it urges you to ask a more uncomfortable question. What actually deserves my energy? That question immediately exposes how much of modern work exists to relieve guilt rather than to create value. Replying quickly feels responsible. Attending everything feels committed. Saying yes feels virtuous. Yet none of these guarantee progress, and all of them quietly drain endurance. Modern burnout rarely comes from doing too much of the right thing. It comes from doing too much of what does not matter. Meetings without outcomes, conversations without direction, tasks performed to avoid discomfort instead of to build something meaningful. Over time, this creates a fatigue that rest alone cannot fix. You sleep, but the tiredness remains because the source is not physical exhaustion. It is a waste of attention. Scattered effort destroys stamina. When your energy is divided across dozens of low-value demands, your mind never fully engages and never fully recovers. You end the day tired but unsatisfied, busy but not proud. This is not a motivation problem or a character flaw. It is a focus problem disguised as dedication. Stoicism offers a solution that feels uncomfortable in a culture obsessed with doing more. The solution is subtraction. Before adding goals, remove distractions. Before increasing effort, cut noise. Before pushing harder, eliminate what drains you. Power comes from reduction because every unnecessary obligation you remove returns energy back to you. Every commitment you decline sharpens your direction. This feels dangerous at first because busyness has become a substitute for worth. Letting go of it feels like falling behind, like losing relevance, like becoming invisible. But that fear is an illusion created by comparison, not truth. When the noise fades, something rare begins to happen. Your effort gains weight. Your actions become intentional instead of reactive. You no longer rush through tasks to escape pressure. You move deliberately, knowing why each action exists. Less, but deliberate, begins to outperform more, but frantic. Your mind settles. Your focus deepens. Your endurance increases. You stop leaking energy through constant reaction and start building momentum through intention. Outworking everyone is not about aggression or exhaustion. It is about precision. It is about choosing a small number of actions worthy of your limited life force and executing them consistently, calmly, and without emotional urgency. This is how Stoics endured while others burned out around them. They did not rely on constant effort. They relied on clear effort. Clarity is the first form of discipline. Without it, no amount of hard work will ever be enough. With it, even modest effort compounds into something powerful, stable, and sustainable over time. Part 2. Master energy, not motivation. Most people believe motivation is the engine of success, but this belief quietly sabotages them over time. Motivation is emotional, unstable, and unpredictable. Some days it shows up strong. Other days it disappears without warning. When your work depends on motivation, your performance becomes fragile. Stoicism never trusted motivation because the Stoics understood something most people learn too late. Emotions are weather, not foundations. If you build your life on weather, collapse is inevitable. Energy, not motivation, is what sustains long-term effort. Energy determines whether work feels heavy or light, resisted or natural. You can be deeply motivated and still exhausted. You can lack motivation and still perform well if your energy is stable. This is why so many disciplined people slowly burn out. They keep forcing themselves forward emotionally while ignoring the state of their system. Eventually, the body and mind collect the debt. Modern culture encourages this mistake relentlessly. Push harder when you are tired. Drink more caffeine, sleep less. Power through resistance. Hustle. Culture praises intensity and ignores recovery. The result is a cycle of short bursts followed by crashes. You surge, then stall. You perform, then disappear. Over time, this pattern erodes confidence because you no longer trust your ability to sustain effort. Burnout is not caused by work itself. It is caused by unmanaged energy. Stoicism approaches this problem with calm precision. Epictetus taught that freedom begins with understanding what is within your control. Your energy, attention, habits, and recovery are yours to govern. Motivation is not. Waiting to feel inspired is surrendering authority to mood and circumstance. The Stoic does not wait. He prepares. Energy is not something you summon in moments of crisis. It is something you build daily through rhythm, restraint, and respect for limits. When energy is ignored, even simple tasks feel overwhelming. Procrastination appears, not because the work is difficult, but because the system is depleted. Many people mistake this depletion for laziness and begin attacking themselves internally. This self-criticism further drains energy, creating a quiet spiral. The Stoic treats energy as a finite resource, not something to burn indiscriminately. He invests it carefully. Instead of asking how long he can work, he asks when he works best. He aligns demanding tasks with his natural energy peaks and steps away before fatigue turns focus into force. This is not a weakness, it is intelligence applied to endurance. Rest in Stoic practice is not a reward for exhaustion. It is part of the strategy. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to work according to nature, not against it. Nature includes the body and the mind. Ignoring recovery does not make you disciplined. It makes you fragile. Fragile systems fail under pressure. Most people rest only after damage has been done. The Stoic rests before collapse. Short walks, silence, stillness. Sleep protected without apology. These acts may seem small, but they preserve clarity. Working while recovered trains mastery. Working while depleted trains fail. When energy is managed properly, discipline becomes lighter. Resistance loses its grip. You no longer need to negotiate with yourself constantly. Action feels available instead of forced. This is where real consistency forms. Anyone can push themselves when adrenaline is high. Few can remain steady over months and years. Consistency always beats intensity. Stoicism is a philosophy of longevity. It favors calm over chaos, rhythm over rush. Energy management allows you to work at a pace others cannot sustain. While they spike and crash emotionally, you continue forward quietly. This is how advantage compounds. Managing energy also requires boundaries. Late nights steal from mornings. Constant availability fragments attention. Emotional conflict drains focus faster than hard work ever could. Stoicism teaches restraint not as limitation, but as preservation. Saying no is not a weakness. It is protection. When your energy stabilizes, your confidence returns. You stop relying on hype, urgency, or pressure to move. You trust your ability to show up tomorrow without paying a hidden cost today. This trust is powerful. It creates calm certainty, not anxiety-driven effort. Mastering energy changes how work feels internally. You are no longer fighting yourself. You move deliberately, grounded in awareness instead of emotion. Motivation becomes irrelevant because your system supports action regardless of mood. This is the edge most people never develop. They chase motivation and burn out. You manage energy and endure. In the long run, endurance wins every time. Part 3. Detach from outcomes. Commit to process. Most people are exhausted not by the work itself, but by the constant emotional pressure attached to outcomes. They wake up thinking about results, comparisons, expectations, and the fear of falling behind. Every task carries invisible weight. What if this fails? What if I'm not good enough? What if this doesn't pay off? Over time, this mental tension drains more energy than the work ever could. Stoicism identifies this as a critical mistake. When your emotional stability depends on outcomes you cannot fully control, you place your peace in fragile hands. The Stoics drew a hard line between effort and outcome. You control your actions, your discipline, your preparation, and your integrity. You do not control applause, timing, recognition, or immediate success. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to focus on what was within his command and release attachment to everything else. This was not indifference. It was psychological protection. By detaching from outcomes, the Stoic preserved clarity under pressure. Modern work culture does the opposite. It trains you to tie your self-worth to results. If you succeed, you feel relief. If you fail, you feel shame. This emotional roller coaster keeps your nervous system in a constant state of tension. Even when things go well, you're anxious about maintaining it. When things go poorly, you spiral. This is not ambition, it is emotional dependence disguised as drive. When you commit fully to the process, something subtle but powerful changes. You stop measuring your days by wins and losses and start measuring them by standards you control. Did I show up with discipline? Did I do the work cleanly? Did I act according to my values? These questions ground you. They turn work into something solid instead of volatile. You are no longer performing for outcomes. You are building yourself through action. Detachment does not make you passive. It makes you resilient. When you release the need for immediate reward, you gain the ability to persist without emotional burnout. You can work through uncertainty without panic. You can endure slow progress without despair. This is how long games are won. Those who obsess over outcomes often quit early because the emotional cost becomes unbearable. Those who commit to the process can last. Stoicism teaches that peace comes from alignment, not achievement. When your actions align with your principles, you experience a quiet confidence that does not depend on external validation. You no longer need constant reassurance that you are on the right path. You trust the process because you trust yourself. This internal stability allows you to work calmly while others are emotionally reactive. Detaching from outcomes also sharpens focus. When you are not constantly checking results, you can stay present with the task in front of you. Your attention deepens. Your decisions improve. Anxiety stops hijacking your thinking. You become less reactive and more deliberate. This is not a mindset trick. It is a practical advantage. Many people fear detachment because they believe it will make them complacent. The opposite is true. Emotional attachment often leads to fear-based decisions, shortcuts, and inconsistency. Process commitment builds discipline. It encourages you to do the right work even when no one is watching and no reward is guaranteed. That kind of integrity compounds over time. When you stop chasing outcomes, you regain control of your inner state. You are no longer shaken by delays, setbacks, or silence. You keep moving, you adjust when necessary, but you do not collapse. This emotional steadiness is rare, and it is powerful. It allows you to operate under pressure without burning out. In the end, success is often a byproduct, not a prize. It follows those who can endure uncertainty without self-destruction. Stoicism offers this endurance by teaching you to release what you cannot command and double down on what you can. Commit to the process, let the outcomes take care of themselves. This is how you stay strong while others break. Part 4. Build boring, repeatable systems. Most people fail, not because they lack talent, but because they depend on emotion to carry them forward. They wait to feel inspired before they act, energized before they commit, confident before they move. When inspiration fades, progress stops. Stoicism never trusted emotion as a foundation for action. It trusted structure. Systems, not feelings, are what carry you through long seasons of work. The system is quiet. It does not motivate you. It does not excite you. It simply exists, waiting for you to show up. This is why most people avoid systems. They feel bored. They offer no dopamine hit, no dramatic surge of enthusiasm. But boredom is exactly what makes them powerful. What is boring is repeatable, and what is repeatable is sustainable. Modern culture celebrates intensity. Long nights, sudden breakthroughs, extreme effort, but intensity burns fast. Systems endure. Marcus Aurelius wrote about doing the work of the day without complaint, without drama, without negotiation. Not because it felt good, but because it was necessary. Stoic discipline was never loud. It was consistent. When your progress depends on how you feel, you become fragile. Bad moods derail you. Fatigue slows you down. Doubt paralyzes you. A system removes choice from the equation. You do not ask yourself whether you feel like doing the work. You follow the structure you already decided on when your mind was clear. This is where real freedom begins. Structure is not a limitation. It is protection. It protects you from emotional volatility, from overthinking, from the constant negotiation with yourself that drains so much energy. When the decision is already made, the mind can rest. Stoic systems are simple. They are not ambitious schedules designed to impress others. They are minimums you can execute even on hard days. Small actions performed daily. Writing 1 page, training for 30 minutes, reviewing priorities every morning. These acts seem insignificant, but they compound quietly. Consistency builds identity. When you show up every day, even imperfectly, you begin to trust yourself. That trust is rare. Most people break promises to themselves so often that they no longer believe their own intentions. Systems repair that relationship. Each completed action reinforces self-respect. Boring systems also remove ego. There's nothing glamorous about repeating the same fundamentals. No audience, no applause, just work. This humility is essential. Ego seeks novelty. Discipline seeks repetition. The Stoic chooses repetition because he understands that mastery lives there. Over time, systems create momentum without force. You stop pushing yourself forward and start being carried by routine. Progress becomes automatic. You advance even on days when motivation is absent. This is how you outlast people who rely on bursts of effort. Many people quit when results are slow because their system cannot support patience. Stoic systems are designed for long timelines. They assume boredom, they expect resistance. They do not panic when nothing seems to happen. They keep moving anyway. When you build boring, repeatable systems, burnout loses its grip. There is no constant urgency, no emotional spike and crash. Just steady movement, calm effort, quiet accumulation. This is how real advantage is built. Systems turn discipline into habit, and habit into destiny. You no longer need to be extraordinary. You only need to be consistent, and consistency, practiced long enough, becomes unstoppable. There is a deeper reason systems protect you from burnout. They reduce emotional decision-making. Every choice costs energy, and most people waste that energy arguing with themselves all day. When decisions are made in advance, the mind stops negotiating. You conserve willpower for execution, not debate. This creates calm, and calm allows longevity. Longevity creates results that short bursts never reach. Stoics understood this long before modern psychology confirmed it. A stable rhythm keeps the nervous system regulated and the mind clear. Over time, this quiet structure reshapes how you see work. You stop chasing excitement and start valuing stability. You measure progress by adherence, not emotion. This shift is subtle, but it changes everything. Burnout feeds on chaos and urgency. Systems starve it. When your days are predictable, your mind can rest. And when your mind rests, your effort becomes clean, sustainable, and powerful. This is how discipline becomes effortless, and effort becomes something you can sustain for life without breaking down. Part 5. Voluntary discomfort builds. Burnout, immunity. Burnout does not come only from working too hard. It comes from becoming too comfortable with avoidance. When life becomes centered around ease, convenience, and emotional safety, the mind grows fragile. Small stresses feel overwhelming. Minor resistance feels exhausting. Stoicism understood this danger early and offered a counterintuitive solution: chosen discomfort. Voluntary discomfort is not punishment, it is training. When you willingly step into controlled difficulty, you teach your nervous system that discomfort is survivable. You stop panicking at resistance. You stop interpreting challenges as threats. Over time, this builds an inner toughness that protects you from burnout when pressure inevitably rises. Modern culture teaches you to eliminate discomfort at all costs. Order convenience. Avoid silence. Escape boredom. Outsource effort. While this feels pleasant in the short term, it weakens you over time. The more comfort you demand, the less resilient you become. Stoicism rejects this trade. It chooses strength over ease. Seneca practiced deliberate hardship not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he feared dependence on comfort. He slept on hard surfaces, ate simple food, and exposed himself to cold so that luxury would never control him. This was not extremism, it was insurance. When difficulty arrived uninvited, it did not shock his system. Voluntary discomfort trains emotional range. When you face cold, silence, solitude, or physical strain by choice, you expand your capacity to stay calm under stress. You stop reacting emotionally to discomfort. You learn to observe it without panic. This skill transfers directly into work, conflict, and pressure. Burnout thrives in people who avoid discomfort until it overwhelms them. When every hard thing is postponed, stress accumulates quietly. Eventually, it explodes. Stoic practice releases stress gradually through controlled exposure. Small discomforts prevent large collapses. Choosing discomfort also restores agency. You're no longer at the mercy of mood or convenience. You act because you decide to, not because conditions feel perfect. This strengthens self-trust. You prove to yourself daily that you can do hard things without breaking. Voluntary hardship must be simple. Cold showers, focused silence, physical exertion, honest conversations. These acts do not need to be extreme. They need to be consistent. The goal is not suffering. The goal is resilience. When you regularly step into discomfort, fear loses its power. You stop dramatizing difficulty. You stop negotiating with resistance. Work becomes cleaner because you are no longer emotionally fragile. Pressure no longer feels personal. Burnout is often a signal of emotional avoidance, not workload. When you train yourself to meet discomfort calmly, work stress becomes manageable. You recover faster, you think clearer, you endure longer. Stoicism teaches that strength is built before it is needed. Voluntary discomfort prepares you for future strain without panic. It creates a buffer between stress and collapse. This buffer is what allows some people to remain calm under pressure, while others unravel. When you choose discomfort, you reclaim control over your reactions. You stop needing perfect conditions to perform. You become steady. And steadiness is the opposite of burnout. This practice is quiet and unglamorous. It does not impress anyone, but it works. Over time, you realize that comfort was never protecting you. It was weakening you. Chosen discomfort, applied wisely, becomes armor. This is not about suffering more. It is about fearing less. And when fear loses its grip, burnout loses its fuel. There is a deeper psychological shift that happens when discomfort becomes familiar. Your identity changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who needs things to be easy in order to function. You begin to see yourself as capable, adaptable, and grounded. This identity shift reduces internal conflict. You no longer fight reality. You meet it. That acceptance conserves enormous energy. When discomfort is no longer feared, stress loses its emotional charge. You respond instead of react. You recover instead of collapse. Over time, this calm strength compounds. Others burn out because their tolerance is low. You endure because your capacity is high. This is the quiet edge Stoicism offers, the ability to remain functional, focused, and emotionally steady even when conditions are imperfect, unpredictable, and demanding. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. But it works every time, and it lasts when everything else fails under pressure. This is how inner strength becomes a daily, dependable resource. In this video, we've stripped away one of the biggest lies of modern success, that working harder automatically means moving forward. Stoic philosophy teaches something far more demanding and far more sustainable. Real advantage comes from clarity instead of chaos, energy instead of motivation, process instead of obsession with outcomes, systems instead of emotion, and voluntary discipline instead of comfort. When these principles work together, burnout stops being a threat and endurance becomes your edge. But understanding this is not enough. Stoicism was never meant to stay theoretical. It is meant to be practiced. Start small. Cut one unnecessary task. Protect your energy tomorrow morning. Commit to a simple daily system you can repeat even on bad days. Choose one form of voluntary discomfort this week and observe how your mind responds. These actions may feel quiet, but they compound faster than intensity ever could. Remember, you don't need to prove anything through exhaustion. You don't need to destroy yourself to succeed. You need to become someone who can last, calm, disciplined, and clear while others rush and burn out. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video helped you see work, discipline, or yourself more clearly, support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, where we continue exploring Stoic philosophy and the art of building a strong, unshakable life.